Hi, guys, and welcome to the final lesson of the Lego Man. Now, the end result is going to be this. So, we've taken all the parts and then we've assembled them into the Lego Man. So, let's look how to do that. So, what you'll do is you'll find your design with all the parts in, you'll open it, you'll click to tinker this, and we'll have all the parts here ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just, again, to give myself a little bit of space, I'm going to hide some of the pieces that I don't want to be working with at this point. So I'm just going to hide the head. I'm going to hide the arms. So hold down Shift to select both of them. Okay, so we're just looking now at the torso and the legs and hip. So remember, if you switch this button on and off, you change between views. So because we're doing some moving around today, it's a good option to have it like this. So we just get a nice view from the front. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to get it into a position where I want it, and then I'll use the align tools to get it exactly where I want it. So I'm going to click here, and the first thing I do is I'm going to use the cone to click and move it up to whereabouts I think it is. Now, down here, remember, you can change the increments. So if I make it move up 2 millimeters or 1 millimeter, this is really good for precise movements. So thereabouts, then I'm going to spin round and look to the front view, and then I'm going to do the same again, but this time I'm going to use the arrow key just to try and line it up with that hip. Looks like it's in line there. Spin my view around again, and now I can see that I can use this view and then use the arrow key to get it into roughly the right area, like that. So I can see that's a little bit off. So a little tap, and then what I'm going to do is just move to the 3D view, and I'm going to just click that and that, hold down Shift, going to go to Align, and I want to click this one down here, which will line it into the middle, like so. And then I'm just going to change my view, and I can see that it's almost there. So a little bit of fine tuning now. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to just slide down this movement by clicking the cone. I might change this to 0.5, like so. Okay, like that. A little bit further, probably, so it just touches it. Okay, and then we can see then it's just touching, and I'm going to just change this, and then just a little movement. Still got a little bit more. Going for perfection. Okay, in line, perfect. Got to look from the front now, and we can see I'm not quite there. So again, some little taps with the arrow key just to get it in the right place. That looks about right to me. So I'm happy with that location of that part. Now I'm going to unhide the rest of the parts. So here, now I'm going to go for the head. So let's go to right, same as before. Again, we're not rushing this. We're trying to be as precise as we can, using all the views to get it right. And spin around to the other side. And then again, I'm going to use the arrow keys. I'm going to increase this to get a bit more of a movement. Okay, so it's there. I can now know that if I move my view around, okay, like this, I will then put this in the right place by moving it across. Okay, like so. We can also then look from the top, looks about right from there, look from the right, and again we can, if you want to, you can click that and hold down shift. With those two parts, click the align, that part, and then that part, click the align tool and align that head to that torso. Then just use arrow keys then just to do a bit of fine, not the arrow keys, sorry, I always made that mistake. Use the cone, just a little bit of fine tuning. If you want to see what you're doing, you can click that one, hold down shift, click that one, use that, and just get that cone, just move it. You can change the increments to 0.25, so that really fine tuning. Okay, really fine there. Perfect. That looks nice. I'm just going to have a quick spin around, see if anything else has moved. Okay, I can see that when I did that align, a few things moved. I can also see that things aren't aligned here. So I'm going to just get that, and I'm going to just change that increment, move the head. That looks better. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click that and then that and group those two parts together. When you're grouping, make sure that you have this ticked, multicolor, which means it will keep the colors the same, like that. So the head is now grouped to the torso. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy up that part there. Okay, so at the front. It's going to be a funny view that. Okay, I'm just going to, that's better. I'm going to just move that across. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that as well. So once I'm happy with that's in the right place, I'm going to just repeat the process. I'm going to click that one, making sure I've got this multicolor here, group the legs to the torso. So now all that is grouped together as one piece. Now I have to do the arms. The arms will go on either side of here. So for that, what we'll do is we will first need to rotate both arms. So click, and then not make them bigger, don't do that. See how easy it is to make things change size if you're not careful. Rotate them round, say 90 degrees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just move this arm to the other side. Okay, right across like this. Make sure I'm in the right view. And then I'm going to move that arm right across like this. Like so. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the arms in the right place. Look at this view. So this time we're going to get this one, move the cone up, okay, and then move it like that. Now I like the idea of having this arm looking like it's moved a little bit. So maybe one arm up, one arm down. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of a rotate in that arm. Maybe this arm, let's say, maybe that arm going up, or we'll have him, yeah, like that I think. I'll have one arm down like that, okay? And then I'm just going to remove that just to whereabouts it would be in the midpoint of his sort of area here. Down to the front, and then again, just that idea of just getting it so it's nice in line with that. Now, because there's a twist in this arm, we have to put a twist in this to make it touch this. So again, I'm going to click this, hold down shift, give a bit of a zoom. Okay, a bit of a zoom. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a very slight rotate in the arm. Okay, so that's almost parallel with that. Click that, and I'm going to then change this 0.2. There we go. It's just touching there perfectly. And I can see here I've got a little gap, so that might need a bit of tidying up in a minute. But I'm just going to do that afterwards, and then I'm going to do the other arm. So the other arm again, same as before. And again, we're not rushing this. We get it precise. That's really important, getting it precise. Arrows, and I think I might just keep this arm straight. Right, so we'll rotate it up a little bit like that. Okay, and then we'll move him up a bit. So again, try and get the same part. If you can't find it, look from the back, and then try and line these 2 points up, and you'll be able to see that then it's roughly in the right place because we want the arms level. Or if you want to be super accurate, you can measure from the bottom. But I tend to find these sort of situations, if you do it by your eye, that tends to be pretty good too. And then, as before, let's look at the front, and let's move this again across. I'm just going to change my view so I can just see a bit better. Across, clicking that. Okay, and then I may look for the top this time, and I'm going to put that slight rotate into the arm. You can just see, again, let's have a look from the right. You can just see it's nearly there. Then look from the top. This is really good for you to understand how to assemble things and use different views. There we go. That looks good to me. Right. So let's just zoom out. Let's have a look what it looks like. Okay. Yeah. Arm there. Arm up. Arm down. I did say that I wanted to try and improve that little area, but it looks good to me. So if we switch to 3D view, and then we can see now, if we highlight all of it and make sure that is in multicolored and group it. So that is the Lego Man done and finished. What you could do as an extension task, you could maybe try and design a hat for him using the cylinder, sphere tool, maybe a cone hat. Could you design some patterns for his shirt? So, for example, we know that Tinkercad has lots of predefined shapes. So, just thinking out loud here, we could just maybe get a heart. We could change the colour of the heart. Could we then, let's change that to that. Okay. We could add a thickness to that. Maybe make it, oops, not that one. Maybe make it something like that, 2 millimeters. Let's go into zoom that a bit more. We could just spin it round like that. We can then resize that. Here, something like that. And then we could add a rotate on that to bring it round like that. And again, just simple process. You've done this before. Okay, can we look then at putting that in the right place? So what I could do is, so I can view things, I can ungroup it. I could probably hide that arm so I can see what I'm doing. Again, great practice for using the different views to do things and hiding and unhiding things. Increase that so it moves a bit quicker. Okay, so let's spin around the view. Let's click this. So you could do things like you could draw a shirt and tie, you could find a minifigure and actually draw the pattern of a shirt or something on the front here. I'm just going to go for a predefined shape that's a heart, like that. And let's just check the other view. Okay, that's a little bit further away. Good to me. Spin it round like that. So there's lots of predefined shapes which you can have a look at in the menus. You can go to all. and you've got lots of things here. Maybe not a brick. You could maybe build a brick wall behind him. Maybe you could write your name on him, give him a name, or you could design something that you can maybe hold in his hand, a hammer, or some sort of tool maybe. So there's lots of little extension tasks that you can do with this to improve the overall look of your Lego man. So enjoy, that's the final video. Hopefully you can assemble it and have a go at some extension activities to make your Lego man look a little bit different from everybody else's.